Hi friends, we have sent out email once a task is created or once a ticket is raised by our end users. We've notified the IT admin that there's a task assigned to you. But what happens if the IT admin has resolved that issue? We also want to send a notification to everyone telling them that that issue has been resolved. So in this video we are going to create a workflow that do exactly that. So the first thing would be to go to create, and I'm going to select a cloud automated workflow, and I'm going to call it send a notification once a task is completed. The trigger I'm going to select when an item is created or modified. I'm going to click create. So first I'm going to set up a connection for it. So by clicking on that, link it to our team site and then the SharePoint list that we are working with, which is IT help desk. So once we have that sorted out, next thing is to add an action, which is get changes, and I'm going to use the first one, selecting the site, the SharePoint site that the changes was made, the lists, which is our IT help desk, and for the ID I'm going to select a dynamic ID, and the scenes I'm going to select the Windows token. So I'm going to go to all and then select the trigger Windows start token. So that completed that action. The next thing will be to add a condition. Add, and I'm going to call it condition. I'm going to add that. The first condition I'm going to add to this will be to check if changes were made to the status. So has changed, and then status. So if status has changed and then we see true, that means something has really happened. For this I'm going to use a function rather instead of true. So once that is correct, so that means, so the next one will be to check the value, if the value that it was changed to is something that we want. So I'll still go back to see more, and then I'm going to look for status value. So that means if the value of it is equal to completed. So even though it's changing, what we are concerned about is if it's marked as completed. And lastly, we might want to check for nullity, so to assure that it's not changed, to ensure that this is not changed or triggered by when the value is set to null. So I'm going to set the value, and then for this I'm going to set to not equal to, I'm going to use the function null. I'm going to add that, and that completed the condition. So now that we've added the condition, if this condition is met, we want to search an inbox, right? We want to search a mailbox. And which mailbox do we want to search? We want to search for that issue that was logged initially and reply to that issue. So one thing that we can do is, I'm going to save this first. So let's go back to the initial flow that was created that sent out notification. So we're going to make a little modification to that workflow. Let me go back to my flows, send an email, which is this first one, once an IT ticket is received. So I'm editing this workflow, and I'm going to add a modification, and the modification is this: when you are sending out an email, I want to put myself in copy so that I can use that search to edit my final workflow when I'm doing a response. So I'm just going to go to CC, and I'm going to include my email address, which is already included. So you must make sure that one is included with alongside other emails that you want to include. So once you have that included to your sent email, that means whenever they are receiving any response, your email will always be there to do a search with, such that whenever you want to send a response, your flow can search through your email and then get out that particular email that we want to reply to. So let's go back to our flow, send a notification once task is completed, and I'm going to edit. So I'm going to expand the condition. So if this condition is true, I want to get email. So that means I want to do a search based on my email box and then get at that particular issues, that email that was sent in response to that issue. Get email version 3, which is this. Any important, so only folder fetch. So I'm going to show all instead of having a limited search. So on this first part, I'm just going to include my name, right? I'm going to include my name, so which is, since I've already included my name to the copy of the mail, so whenever an email is sent out, so I'm going to now include my name. So let me search for it, Abel, which is this. So that means it's going to search either all the email that I received, whether I was in copy or it was sent directly to me. So once you include that, the next thing is to include a subject filter. The subject filter will be the subject of the email that was sent out. Remember, our subject was always included. So I'm going to look for subject, which is this, and fetch only on read message. Sometimes the mail might have been read, so I don't want this enabled, so I'm just going to click no, and then include attachment, no original mailbox address, not really bother. And the search query, I'm going to include our unique ID, which is our title. Remember, our title is unique for every mail. So if we have this granted, our search result, we can always specify that we only want to get one result at, which of course will always come out as a single result. We want to get a single result at. So let's review to CC me subject feature, and okay, that's fine. So the next thing, now that we've gotten a result, we now want to add a loop. Even though it's a single result, we want to pipe it out with a loop since it's an array that we've received. So we can do apply to, and this loop is definitely just going to run once since we've already specified that that's one. So we click on apply to, so under it we have to specify a message ID. Remember, on the search base it received the message ID, so I'm just going to show more, and I'm looking for the message ID, which is this. It's a unique ID, so it's going to use that message ID. I'm going to click on show all. So the person that we are going to send this email to is still going to be the person that logged the issue before now, which is the email of that person, email, and the person you want to put in copy, right, will be the manager's email that was added when she created the issue, manager supervisor. And subject, I don't want to modify the subject because it already has the subject. So important is, we can decide to select normal or whatever important you want to select, and the body of the text is, I'll just paste that, and we can just modify the greetings. The greetings will be the name of the person that logged the issue. Remember, he or she added his name initially. The ICT, you can modify that to what you want. It's still going to be our title, which is the ticket ID, and the date was the date the issue was created, right? The day we received the ticket, and we're still going to show more and go to date. The ticket description was the bunch of text the person added, and we show more, and we're just going to click on issue and description, and has been resolved. We might want to make this bold, and so has been resolved, that's fine. So we can do that, we can do what works for us, and we are replying to all recipient. True to reply, default is false. I'm just going to select yes, reply to everybody that was in the main thread regardless, and that completes this section. So we're going to save that, and we are going to test our workflow. So the first thing we will test will be to go to our IT team, and then we have a task that is currently on new, so I'm just going to click on it and change the status from new to completed. So I'm just going to click on status, and I'm going to set that status to completed. So once that is saved, it should trigger our workflow. So let's show on all run, cancel all flow runs, no. So even we can get a notification here that we have a task, and which is what we want there. They are sending it to me, copying my manager, which I specified as a diverse, and this is the issue and it has been resolved. Kindly reach out to the IT team. So let's do refresh this to see if we get to see the flow. Oh, so looking at the top, we see the first one. I'm going to click on it. I will expand that, and we see that each element of the flow runs successfully. And that completed the whole series. If you've watched this so far, I want to say thank you for the time you've spent, and please remember to like and subscribe. Cheers and enjoy your day.